Gaming Bolt presents the top 15 best boss fights in God of War for the PS4. God of War is out on the PlayStation 4 and players can finally experience what critics have been raving about. Much like previous titles in the franchise, the bosses are an integral key to the entire experience. Let's take a look at some of the best boss fights, including sub-bosses, secret fights, and storyline battles. This list is ranked in terms of which fight feels more fun and not in terms of difficulty. Also, some of these names are pretty wild, so I'm going to do my best to say them correctly, but yeah, I'm probably going to get some wrong. Also, spoilers of all kinds in bounds. Dadi Hamar. Remember the troll encounter from the E3 2016 trailer? Well, Dadi Hamar is more or less the same fight, but in a different location and with some fire thrown in for good measure. Dodging the giant totem is a given, but it can leave fire when slammed into the ground, so be careful. Though it's a mostly straightforward encounter, seeing Kratos smash his face with an axe and bring the slab down on his head is pretty dang cool. Yarn Foder. Another troll? Another troll, but this time you'll have to contend with the power of ice. Yarn Foder wields a giant totem like his cohorts, but can also stomp and smash the ground for an AoE ice attack. All in all, this feels like a more vicious fight thanks to the ice damage. While the execution is similar to other trolls, one shouldn't underestimate the appeal of Kratos smashing dudes in the face. Matugger Helson. Yet another troll? Well, yes, but he is much more than that. He's the bridge keeper who holds the power of Helheim in his totem. He isn't content to simply smash you about. He'll fade in and out of battle, thus making his movements a little more erratic to read. He can also throw some weird ice projectiles at you, smash his totem into the ground for shockwave attacks, send minions to fight, and so on. A fun battle overall with a decent twist on the head-smashing executions seen earlier. Air. One side quest in God of War involves finding and battling Sigrun, the Valkyrie Queen. To do that, you must defeat 8 other Valkyries and gather their helmets. There's plenty of traveling off the beaten path, and things seem rather straightforward with Gunnar and Geirdrufel. Air mixes things up though, using her wings to block Kratos' attacks. Aside from attacking with her scythe, Air can also blind you and execute a one-hit kill if you're not careful. Grendel of the Ashes and Grendel of the Frost. How can the game possibly mix up the trollish creature carrying a giant totem formula? Well, by throwing 2 at you simultaneously. Though Grendel of the Ashes seems like a lone battle, you'll be surprised to see Grendel of the Frost up and ready to attack you. The dynamics of this fight aren't especially complicated. Dodging the smashes and swinging along with frequent changes from blades to axe and vice versa are the keys to survival. Magni and Modi. Magni and Modi aren't quite like their father Thor, but their lightning-infused weapons can be tough to deal with. Seeing the two work together is intriguing. Magni will strike Modi's shield and create an arena of darkness. Kratos and Atreus will fight back to back, repelling either brothers who attack. Near the end of the battle, Magni and Modi will use a fastball special, the latter crashing down with a thunderous impact. After enduring shockwaves and ground smashes, Magni will fall, but don't worry about Modi, he gets his later. Kara. Wings corrupted red, Kara is yet another Valkyrie that must be beaten in order to reach Sigrun. Though her long-range attacks and scythe attacks will come into play, Kara will also summon Draugr to fight for her. It can be a little tough to manage both, but finding the right moments to attack Kara without getting surrounded is the key to victory. Rhoda. Rhoda is more of a close combat specialist than the other Valkyries. Her hardest hitting move sees her topple Kratos to the ground and continuously stomp on his neck. Reading this attack and repelling it is important, but it's also worthwhile to avoid her projectiles and spinning wing attacks. Near death, Rhoda will start dive bombing you, but sidestep it for a good wing ripping. Ulrun. Another melee-based Valkyrie, Ulrun has insane speeds and likes to land that knockdown blow to take Kratos down. She also tends to fire razor-sharp feathers and attack with her wings. If you have a way to immobilize Ulrun and avoid her knockdown punch, then she should fall just like the other Valkyries. Svartalfjolfr. The wings may be deceiving, but this isn't another Valkyrie fight. The Dark Elf King instead likes to charge and stab with his spear when he's not delivering leaping attacks. He's fairly easy to read until the arena goes dark, thus prompting you to dodge his explosive projectiles. His wings come into play near the end as he flits about trying to impale you. Eventually he gets a taste of his own medicine, and by that we mean a generous spear to the chest. Hildur. Fighting Hildur is good practice for eventually taking on Sigrun. With her scythe, Hildur can send shockwaves on the ground and rush at Kratos. She's also capable of dive bombing and firing ice projectiles from a distance. Stagger her with the shield at the right times and you'll open up plenty of windows for attacking. Baldur Final Encounter. This is more or less it for the game as Kratos and Atreus come face to face with Baldur for one last time. The tension in fighting Baldur as a team, trying to best his immortal and mortal forms while Freya intrudes with Thamur, even sending some minions in, is pretty heavy. There's plenty of Kratos fighting 1v1 with Baldur, battles in the air, Baldur powering up, and much, much more. In terms of spectacle, the final battle definitely lives up to God of War's legacy. Baldur First Encounter. The first encounter with Baldur is arguably better though. Starting with a massive punch that sends Kratos flying, what occurs is a knockdown, drag-out brawl across the woods, illustrating the game's more personal feel. Baldur has quite a few elemental attacks, but seeing him break out a German suplex before Kratos slams a tree into his face? Even if you don't play the game, just watch this fight. It's truly a violent spectacle. Raizler. A dragon in God of War? You're damn right, a dragon. Raizler, in classic Monster Hunter fashion, is a rather daunting foe. First encountered in an old lift, the boss fight finishes with Kratos slicing the dragon's mouth from the inside. The real battle starts on the ground as you avoid claw swipes, bites, and sweeping breaths of lightning. Using those red shard explosives, some smart teamwork with Atreus on a crane, and some rapid smashing of the circle button, it won't be long before Raizler's mouth is ripped right open. Sigrun, the Valkyrie Queen. Finally, you come face to face with the Valkyrie Queen after dispatching her soldiers. Sigrun has a variety of attacks, from shooting sharpened feathers at Kratos to scythe attacks. She can even block attacks with her wings like air and stomp on Kratos' neck like Rhoda. But wait, there's more, as Sigrun brings down fire and launches ice projectiles like Hildur. Eventually, Sigrun will fall and you'll learn more about the Valkyrie Queen. The real one, that is. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from Gaming Bolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.